This Civic Media podcast is sponsored by UW Organ and Tissue Donation. Organ donations are desperately needed, and now is the right time to become an organ donor. Talk to your family. Get the dot. Save lives. Go to heroicdeed.com.
This is your WXCO Daily News Roundup for Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 FM and 1230 AM in Wausau.
For WXCO News, I'm Brittany Merlot. Students are back inside Horace Mann Middle School and Wausau area Montessori Charter School after a bomb threat forced an evacuation early on Monday. The school district said it was found to be a swatting incident. They say a call came in just before 10 a.m. yesterday morning, indicating that there were bombs in the building and that they'd go off without a specific time frame. Staff immediately called 911 and students were evacuated. They were, however, able to return a short time later. And Wisconsin's Office of Children's Mental Health, or OCMH, has a new tool to help parents understand their preschool-aged children when they're having big feelings. Melissa Kay has more.
When children are struggling with their emotions and acting out, parents don't always know what to do, many times resorting to a tablet or TV to calm the child. This doesn't help them learn to identify emotions and manage feelings in a healthy way. Children communicate how they feel with their behaviors. This tool helps families identify feelings as well as ways to calm challenging behaviors. It's called the Early Childhood Feelings Thermometer. The thermometer features 5 zones, starting at green, the calm zone, and lists feelings and behaviors associated with that zone, and goes up to red, the furious zone, with suggestions to help the child in the moment, such as vigorous physical exercise or taking a warm shower or bath. You can find out more at children.wi.gov.
And Wisconsin residents are paying a smaller percentage of their wages on utility costs than most other states. A recent study conducted by Eden Emerald Hot Water found that Wisconsin ranked 13th in spending on utility bills, with about 12% of the average salary going towards things like gas, water, internet, and cable. It also found the total average utility cost for Wisconsin residents was about $6,700 compared to the average salary of $56,000. Minnesota was the only Midwest state to rank higher. Human remains were found in Marshfield over the weekend, near North St. Joseph's Avenue on Saturday. Police were able to identify the person, but aren't releasing the name, pending notification of their family. Preliminary information shows that no foul play was involved, and the investigation is still ongoing. And the Internal Revenue Service is noticing an increase in bad tax advice being spread on social media. IRS spokesperson Christopher Miller says the scams dupe people into filing inaccurate tax returns, which can lead to delayed refunds, penalties, and interest, and sometimes even criminal charges. Miller says you also need to be on the lookout for scams involving tax credits or cryptocurrencies. More tips and information can be found at irs.gov. And food waste increases over the holiday season. Derek Tritz tells us more.
With every holiday season comes more mouths to feed, and most of the time, a lot of extra food. Sadly, a large portion of that extra food ends up getting wasted, according to DNR Organic Waste Management Specialist Ruth O'Donnell.
Recently, the organization ReFed estimated that on Thanksgiving, over 300 million pounds of food was wasted in the United States, and that represented more than $500 million of groceries thrown away.
To cut down on food waste, the Wisconsin DNR recommends creating detailed shopping lists for holiday dinner ingredients and freezing leftovers. Freezing leftovers might also save you a few nights of cooking. More information about food waste prevention can be found at dnr.wi.gov.
And cold weather is right around the corner, creating more lake effect snowfall, frigid wind chills, and of course, sea smoke on the Great Lakes. Prepare now and have an emergency kit in your car, and make sure all your heating elements are working properly. And never plug a space heater into an extension cord. The Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction was recently awarded a $10 million federal grant to improve youth mental health services. Specifically, this money will help with the staffing of school counselors, psychologists, and social workers by expanding the barrier for entry and delivery models of these services. The grant was awarded by the U.S. Department of Education through its 2024 School-Based Mental Health Professionals Grant Program and is set to last for 5 years. The Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction was one of 22 grant recipients across the nation to receive funding through this grant. And if you missed out on Wisconsin's 9-day gun deer hunt season, The Department of Natural Resources still has some other hunting opportunities this month. There's still a couple of days left in the muzzleloader season, which will end tomorrow, before the statewide antlerless-only hunting season takes place from Thursday to Sunday. Select farmland zone units will also hold an antlerless-only holiday hunt from the 24th to January 1st. The archery and crossbow season is also still underway until January 5th or 31st, depending on your region. And don't be fooled by delivery scam texts this holiday season. Melissa Kay has more.
The Wisconsin Better Business Bureau warns phishing texts or emails look like official notices from delivery companies. They either contain a tracking link, a message that the shipper is having difficulty delivering a package to you, or a link to update delivery preferences. Clicking the link takes you to a form that asks for personally identifying information or to a site that downloads malware onto your computer. Another scam is missed delivery tags. They place a note on your door that claims you've missed a package. It includes a number that you should call to reschedule your delivery. It's a ruse to get your personal information.
So keep track of your purchases. Don't click on links, don't leave packages sitting on your doorstep, and open your delivery right away to check for damage or signs of tampering. The holiday season can be fraught with fire danger. Dry air, fireplaces, and decorative lighting make one tradition the biggest fire risk: the fresh cut tree.
Making sure that you water your tree every day. That is extremely important. Dry trees will go up very, very quickly and very easily.
That's Alex Quintana with the Appleton Fire Department. She also says to check decorations for frayed wiring. And it's also time for the annual holiday traffic safety campaign, Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over. Melissa Kay has more.
From December 11th through New Year's Day, officers will patrol in greater numbers for longer hours, watching for impaired drivers. Last year in Wisconsin alone, there were over 5,900 alcohol-related crashes that resulted in 159 deaths. This campaign is about saving lives and preventing needless tragedies during the holiday season. If you plan to celebrate this holiday season, identify a sober designated driver or find a safe alternate way home. If you encounter a suspected impaired driver, call 911 and provide as much detail as possible on the driver, vehicle, and location.
And the holiday shopping season is underway, and all across the state, communities have embraced unique holiday markets. Here's Logan Rogie with Travel Wisconsin.
You're actually going to find these European-style holiday markets that are cropping up. Some have been around for decades, others are new, but it's really embracing kind of sort of the traditions of how the season has been celebrated in Europe and bringing it here to Wisconsin. In Sparta, they hold this really popular Christkindl market. It's one of the best outdoor Christmas markets in Wisconsin.
A full list of holiday lights and other events is available on the Travel Wisconsin website. I'm Brittany Merlot for WXCO.
Badgers losing their quarterback. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with Sports. College football, the Badgers' starting quarterback, Tyler Van Dyke, has announced he's entered the transfer portal. Van Dyke suffered a torn ACL in his right knee, week 3, ending his season. He was replaced by Braden Locke. Wisconsin has hired a new offensive coordinator, 58-year-old Jeff Grimes, most recently with Kansas. NBA, the Bucks host the Magic tonight in Milwaukee. It's an NBA Cup quarterfinal game. Major League Baseball meetings underway in Dallas. The Brewers say that Christian Yelich making progress from his back surgery. Manager Pat Murphy on shortstop Willie Adames leaving the team in free agency after signing with the Giants.
Willie, the guy can play, man. You want the ball hit to him in a big situation. You want him at the plate. He plays every day, and you want him up in every big situation. He's proven it time and time again. That's who he is. He loves it. He revels in it. I mean, we've lost a lot. We lost Burns. We lost Hader in the recent years. But losing this guy, woo.
That's Brewers manager Pat Murphy. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. If you're a moviegoer who likes Thanksgiving leftovers, you probably found something to enjoy at the movies this past weekend. Only one new release was able to crack the top 5, and only 3 flicks cracked the top 10. In first place, to no one's surprise, was Moana 2, which pulled in another $52 million in its second weekend in theaters. Coming in second place was Wicked with a $34 million haul and $320 million take worldwide. And in third place is Gladiator 2 with $12.5 million. Indian action mystery thriller Pushpa 2, The Rule, brought in almost $10 million on just 1,200 screens to grab 4th place. Red One took 5th place. A24's latest, Y2K, pulled in a disappointing $2 million in its first weekend release, good for 8th place. A re-release of Christopher Nolan's Interstellar took 6th place with $4.5 million on only 165 screens nationwide. There should be some big box office activity this coming week with the release of a new Lord of the Rings film. Nominations for the Golden Globes were announced Monday, and Variety is reporting that in the film category, Amelia Perez leads the way with 10 nominations. The musical stars Zoe Saldana and Selena Gomez and is being called a drug cartel musical. Intrigued? I am. The film is available on Netflix. Not too far behind with 7 nominations, including Best Picture, is The Brutalist, a brutally long 3.5-hour drama set in post-war Europe starring Adrian Brody, Felicity Jones, and Guy Pearce, all 3 of whom are nominated for their acting chops. Focus Features Conclave pulled in 6 nominations, including for Best Picture and Best Screenplay, as well as acting nominations for cast members Ralph Fiennes and Isabella Rossellini. The Bear continues to dominate award shows on the little screen with 5 nominations. Only Murders in the Building and Shogun received 4 nominations each. If you don't know who Dick Van Dyke is, here is a perfect opportunity to learn. Just Google his name or Coldplay All My Love. Coldplay frontman Chris Martin sings and plays the piano while the legendary Dick Van Dyke, star of The Dick Van Dyke Show, Mary Poppins, and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, sings and dances while reflecting on his 98-year-old life. Great little video if you're looking to practice gratitude and want to be entertained. Keira Knightley says the iconic cue card scene in Love Actually was creepy. The actress was just 17 at the time and supposed to be married to Chiwetel Ejiofor, who is 10 years older than her, and it was Andrew Lincoln, even older, who shows up at her door trying to woo her with cue cards. The scene is being looked at now as stalkerish. True, yeah. But also, how do you cast an underage 17-year-old as a newlywed? This season, be sure to check out Love Predatorially. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
We'll see a little sunshine at times today, but overall mostly cloudy with a high in the mid to upper 20s this afternoon. Tonight, mostly cloudy with some light snow after midnight. We'll drop into the mid-teens. Tomorrow, windy with light snow. Falling temperatures will be in the single digits by late afternoon. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it's 28.
That's your WXCO Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at bullfallsradio.com. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.